Jim, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you the Brady question, since you've been around Tom and Kraft and Belichick, and you did that final game with New England and Tennessee. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are and where you think Brady's going to wind up the next couple of weeks here.
It's all guesswork. I've got no inside information to share. I think we all right now are just trying to figure out what it feels like to each and every one of us. And I think for many folks, it's hard to see Tom in any other jersey than the Patriots. However, and again, with no inside scoop here at all, it kind of feels like to me he's going to play somewhere else. That's unscientific, and it's going to be the next 5 or 6 weeks. Some of these decisions that are going to be made, nothing that's going to grab more attention than that one. It's going to be fascinating to see because there are some big names out there.
Well, and also that the decision about re-signing needs to be made at a time before a roster could be built and potentially presented to Brady as improved. And this is the spot that he needs to decide by March, mid-March, as to whether he's coming back or not. And that's part of this very difficult equation. But the concept is, and you know him very well too, is that Robert Kraft will never let it happen. I wonder where you might land on that part of the theory here, Jim.
You know, he's a complete free agent. He can do what he wants. I'm looking at it from our little world of media. Here's an interesting scenario for you. The league will release its schedule in, third week of April. You do the show. You're great.
Thank you, Jim.
I love watching that night. That's one of my favorite sporting events of the year. I know it's not an event, but I love to just start figuring out what the schedule looks like, and you reveal it.
Yep.
Well, they don't put that together with 2 days' notice. They don't start April the 15th. Now, if you're constructing that schedule, you're CBS, and, hey, the Patriots have been your flagship team for almost 20 years, and you look at some of the games next year with that first-place schedule and some of their crossover, not only NFC matchups, but the crossover AFC division matchups, they have a schedule next year that is, if you just had the New England schedule and the Patriots were in their prime, you would look at it and say, what are we going to be able to keep? What are we going to lose to prime time? What are we going to have as a doubleheader? You got New England at Seattle. You got New England at the Chargers, which, by the way, if he ended up going to the Chargers, how big is that game? New England at the Chargers in that new stadium, and Tom's on the other side. You've got New England against the Rams in that same new stadium. You got New England at Houston. You got New England at Kansas City. You got Baltimore at New England. I mean, look at all these games. Now, if Tom is not there, Rich, how do you construct your schedule? Do you still look at them as a network programmer and Howard Katz and his team from the NFL? Do you still look at this team as a 10-6, 11-5, 12-4 team that I'm going to put in a doubleheader window as the primary game 4 or 5 times? I'm going to give them 5 primetime exposures because they've got meat on the bone with the schedule, with the opponents we know they're going to play next year to really be in some big spots. Or are you going to risk that if they have to go without Tom and it's a rebuild year and they've got to kind of reinvent themselves, how much are you giving? Are you giving a late season game to NBC? Because, are they at that time, are they a 10-2 team in late November? Or are they, something that was foreign to us? Are they 5-7? So there's a lot that's going to be hinging on this as we look forward to the fall and a whole new season.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.